Hello, welcome back to another edition of our Simpsons season review. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, please feel free and check them out. This episode we'll be reviewing Season 2, Episode 8, Bart the Daredevil, which first aired on December the 6th, 1990.
Viewing figures for this one, slight increase on the previous episode. Figures for this one, 26.2 million.
Well, it was decent back then, the viewing figures.
Yeah, again, by this point, Bart's and Bartmania had basically taken over, so a lot more fans are watching. Obviously, with it being the early series, the episodes are fresh, unique. They're not basically focusing on the sort of stuff they do nowadays. They're basically just doing solid episodes.
Well, his popularity was flourishing, Bart's, back then, because the video Do the Bartman premiered after the episode's original airing, so his popularity, his merchandise was actually growing back then.
Yeah, and basically this is now 2 episodes in a row where Bart's name has been in the title. Basically, this is also the first time that's happened where a character has had their name in consecutive episode titles.
And it's the 5th time Bart's name has actually been in the title altogether.
So yeah, just capitalising on his popularity, obviously merchandise and all that sort of thing at this point.
And we see 2 debut appearances in this episode. We see Dr. Julius Hibbert, who is not a mainstay character. He would say a bit part.
He's background.
Background.
Because he's not really had any. I mean, they put stuff in series that have gone by, hinting to the fact that he's Bleeding Gums Murphy's half brother, is it?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Also, they then don't really hint. You sort of see the fact that he looks and sounds like the orphanage person when Homer's trying to find Herb in that episode.
We're talking about Bleeding Gums as well. He is actually seen in a taxi when the Simpsons head to the rally.
Yeah, and also with Lance Murdoch in this episode, it's his first appearance. But apart from one of, I think it was the Viva Ned Flanders episode, he did another.
That's right.
Did another one, another stunt. He had a safe on his head or something. But mainly after this, he's just used as background character. You don't really have. I mean, you don't really have a full-on story in this one. It's just like he's a daredevil who gets injured. But yeah, he's another one of these characters that just there isn't really any fleshing out to it. He's just basically bit part player, or he'll just pop up here or there, sort of thing.
He got injured through his own stupidity, because we'll get to it soon. But he did the jump.
Yeah,
and then fell in the water.
But yeah, the episode itself, it's Bart and Homer centric one.
Yeah, Marge doesn't have much of a episode in this one. At least has a bit part in it.
And
Maggie's
just Maggie. Maggie does the usual in this one. But I say a usual. Yeah, to be fair, some episodes she'll do stuff in it that's unusual for her. This one, it's just a case of unless she's put it out, you don't really realise she's there, sort of thing.
And in this episode, Mind Swap, where you look at it, Marge is Homer. Homer's turned into Marge in this episode.
Yeah. Basically, the episode starts by setting up this dynamic that Bart and Homer are very literally thinking the same thing.
Same minds, basically.
Yeah. They're both watching the wrestling. Bart's at home watching it with Lisa, Milhouse, Lewis. Homer's at the bar watching it with the Barflies. They both sort of come across at the point that they believe the wrestling is real and not choreographed.
Yeah.
And also, they sort of both have the same sort of thing as taking somebody else's seat. Bart is by manipulating Milhouse. He gets him to get up and change the channel on TV.
Not the first time you see him manipulating Milhouse.
Easy target.
He is.
And he subsequently steals his place on the sofa through this. Homer takes Barney's seat when he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the rest, and you have the advert for Truckosaurus, and they're both enamoured with that. To the point of when Homer gets home from the bar, they just greet each other on the driveway, and there's like Truckosaurus. And then they basically decided at this point that they want to go and see this show on Saturday.
But what they didn't know is Lisa's got a recital at 5 o'clock that Saturday. Homer was worried that he couldn't go, but then Marge goes, you can go to both.
Yeah, and basically they go, and it's basically mainly Homer just trying to rush the show along, wanting to get out as quickly as possible.
Well, he's never wanted to go to them, has he?
Yeah, but yeah, usually it's a case of it's kids recital or whatever. Some at the school don't want to be there. In this case, it's a fact of I don't want to. Yes, I don't want to be there. I want to be somewhere else instead. But yeah, we also get a bit with the Flanders as well. We did touch on it a bit in the previous review, but the Flanders schooling, you basically see one of the Flanders children playing in the recital. So at this point,
You go to Springfield Elementary by the sound looks of it.
Yeah, but again, that's probably, you can put that down to the fact of they've not really become main characters yet, or main supporting characters yet. So it's just like the children. So Springfield Elementary.
It's just funny when Flanders was crying, Homer taps him on the shoulder.
And basically he's like, "Oh, cheer up, Flanders. Your kid's not that bad."
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, Homer can't distinguish emotion, basically. But yeah, we get to the end of the recital, and Homer just so determined to get out, drags Lisa off the stage, even though he takes her back for a bow.
Yeah, but he bowed first time without Lisa, but then when Lisa comes back to bow, they bow again. So they bow twice.
Maybe it's that thing of, oh, she's bowed, so we better bow.
Yeah.
But yeah, end off speeding to the arena. Then they're trying to look for this car parking space.
Mark said there's a parking space in the arena, but shouldn't there be? Should be a barrier before the show starts to prevent people from actually going in there. Should be a barrier stopping.
Yeah, every arena has that sort of thing. Not just for accidental ones, just to like stop people from wandering in.
Yeah.
But yeah, this basically just leads to the Simpson family getting well, they're not getting destroyed. The car's getting destroyed, but they're in it. And then Homer's having to be dragged out of it through the sunroof. But did they have a sunroof beforehand, or is that just being made?
No.
They get a check for the damages, and they get half a bottle of champagne.
Yep, and the champagne which Marty's giving, it's actually labelled Truckosaurus Private Reserve. So he has even his own champagne bottles.
Yeah, but again, maybe merchandise, or maybe he's drinking on the job. Maybe that's why he couldn't distinguish.
Maybe.
He was drunk, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, considering Bart and Homer just wanted to go and see Truckosaurus, they got basically a pretty good viewing of him from being there. Yet they still decide to stay for the rest of the show.
Like nothing's happened, basically.
Yeah. But then we find out that this Daredevil, Lance Murdoch's there, and he's going to attempt to jump this pool that's got sharks in, electric eels,
Lions,
piranhas, lions, alligators. And he put some blood in there as well.
Yeah, Lion wouldn't be able to go in there.
Yeah,
because piranha would have ate it, and the shark may have ate it as well.
And the eel would just electrocute it.
Yeah.
And maybe the alligators had a go. But again, one of those silly things, be like, oh yeah, we'll put something dangerous in there. It's like, yeah, it won't work in real life.
What I didn't get is the way everyone closed their eyes. Bart watched, but then Homer closed his eyes as well. Homer likes violence. From if you've seen later episodes, he buys the tapes from the video store with violence for the NFL, dangerous injuries, and he likes violence. In this one, he doesn't.
Yeah, but like we say, he's had a bit of a personality transplant in this one, so maybe it goes as far as his love of basically danger and dangerous sports. Basically, he just for some reason doesn't like it now, or just for this episode. Eventually, Murdoch does make the jump. But because of his own stupidity and trying to show off, he ends up going in the pool anyway when he falls off the ramp. From from this, Bart decides he wants to be a daredevil. He's seen it's the next big thing to do, get fame and fortune from it and everything. But yeah, on the way home, they end up driving the car home, even though it's
not roadworthy.
Yeah. Basically, it's a mangled mess.
I don't think it's the first episode where they drove a car home. Similar to that, I think he did it in one of the later episodes.
In fairness, Homer doesn't really care, to be honest.
No.
It's like, it's a vehicle, it still runs. I don't care whether it's damaged or not. But yeah, what are the Springfield police going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, because they're useless.
Yeah, they're useless or corrupt or both.
When you get back to the house, Bart tells Homer he wants to be a daredevil. Homer just shrugs off as being a kid thing to say.
But Bart then...
Yeah, and next day, he attempts to jump over the car.
Misses, gets injured, and that's when you find out how good of friends he's got.
Yeah, when one of them says, "We look seriously injured," he just scarp and vanish.
Yeah, this leads to him having to go to hospital because he's broke his wrist or something, or sprained his wrist.
And got a scar on his head.
Marge greets him by hugging him and kissing him, and that's when Homer turns around and is like, telling him the fact, well, shouldn't be doing that, should be punishing him. We're supposed to be punishing him because of what he's done, basically to prove to him that what he's doing is dangerous. So yeah, this is the point of me realising Homer's the more sterner parent in this episode.
Yeah.
And from here on, Marge really doesn't come into discussion at all about the Daredevil at all. She doesn't really persuade him at any point in this episode. It then leads off. Bart then does the jump over the car. He jumps over a pool full of kids. He jumps between two ramps, and this time you've got cats and dogs in between.
Yeah, they won't be able to stay in one position for that long, would they?
Yeah, you'd end up having one of them move at least.
Yeah, he gets bored of his stunts and then decides he wants to jump over Springfield Gorge.
At this point, he tells the only adult that's there,
Otto.
if you can really call him an adult.
No role model, put it that way.
Basically just sit around and go, well, as the only adult, I think I should really tell you something or say something to you. And at this point you think, oh, maybe he is responsible, he's going to tell him not to do it because how stupid it is. It's like, oh, cool. So on the way back, Bart uses the tannoy system on the school bus to announce his jumping of the Springfield Gorge.
Lisa gets worried. I don't know if she tells Homer first or Marge first.
But it is Homer that basically tells him not to do it, tells him off for it. Bart's annoyed at this, the fact that Lisa's told on him, and she basically puts it across like, oh, even though, brother, I don't want you to get hurt or die or anything. Even though it's like, it's Lisa, does she enjoy the snitching?
Sometimes I think she does. In this sense, she was worried more.
So yeah, this then gets us to the final sort of arc of the storyline. We get to the real point of the storyline. Homer's trying to not convince Bart not to do it. He's basically telling him not to do it, but also at the same point trying to convince him how dangerous it is and why he doesn't want him to do it. But Bart, being Bart, every time he does tell Homer he's not going to jump it. He promises him. Homer finds him trying to sneak out at one point, and that's where he goes even deeper. He's like, no, this is a serious matter because you could actually seriously hurt yourself or die. Again, he apologises, promises he won't do it. Then later on, Homer goes to play ball with him and he's not there, so he knows where he is. Obviously by this point he turns up a little bit late at the gorge, and he's basically in the process of about to jump the gorge when Homer turns up, stops him from jumping. Then it leads to
It seemed like Homer wasn't going to jump, he was just doing it to scare. But that's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, because as soon as Bart agrees that he's not going to do it, because Homer's obviously put forward the argument that I'm doing it because you need to see and feel how scary it is that a member of your own family or someone you love is putting their life in danger, and basically, yeah, once Bart agrees he's not going to do it home, it just seems like Homer is like a weight's being lifted. Thank God I don't have to do it. But of course, as we know what happens, basically he ends up accidentally going over the gorge.
He would have. I think he may have actually done it if he didn't jump on the skateboard in the air. Because if you see it, if you want to look at it scientifically,
Yeah, scientifically,
you could see it was actually going to go that far. But then when he jumps on the skateboard goes down because his weight wouldn't have helped either.
Yeah. In fairness, with his weight, it's surprising that he even got that far across the gorge. But yeah, we all know what happens next. He misses.
Gets in and falls all the way down.
Ambulance comes. Well, he gets her lifted out, put into an ambulance.
Then it crashes into a tree.
And the whole thing happens again, only this time he gets hit in the head with the stretcher once he lands. And then we just end the episode with him.
He gets hit in the head with the mountains as he goes up as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His head bounces off the man because he's swinging back and forth. But yeah, once he eventually got him out, he ends up at the hospital.
Surprisingly next to Lance Murdoch.
Yeah. And then we just close with him telling Murdoch, "You think your life's hard? Try raising my kids."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically the episode as a whole. As we say, it's mainly just
Bart and Homer. Lisa has a bit part in it. Marge, they're not really much of a part. Maggie, blink and you miss her as usual. But sometimes she does have parts.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the episode itself.
Yeah, and when the kids are saying boo boo to the TV, Lewis's skin changes colour from black to yellow. It happened a bit early on with the animation.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think by this point, had he been brought in as an African-American character, or is it similar to the police officer where he started off as being yellow and then he changed the skin colour, or is this the case of he was one skin colour, they changed it and then it obviously went back to normal again? But again, animation style to it.
And when Homer is driving the car, if you look closely, the car has two mirrors.
More for Truckosaurus to rip off.
Well, that's true, yeah. And when Homer dashes up the hill to catch Bart, he is from the car. But when Bart skateboards, Homer is back to the original position.
Again, the storyboard's obviously getting mixed up, or they're just not doing that one properly.
Yeah, true. And when the children are awaiting Bart's arrival at the gorge, Nelson says, "Where is he? I thought he said noon." However, Milhouse's mouth is moving to the words as if he's saying it. Maybe were they voiced by the same person?
Possibly.
I'm not sure. I can't.
If not, maybe it was originally supposed to be Milhouse. But again, if that was the case, it was different voice actors, then it's sort of a weird one that was said. Unless it was one of those, they gave the line to Nelson, and then
Milhouse was meant to say it.
Yeah, basically they just changed the mind. It was originally Milhouse, but then Nelson said it originally or eventually or something like that.
And when Bart does the car jump the second time, Richard, Lewis and Milhouse change where they're standing.
Again, another one of those early episode blunders, just getting the boards mixed up again, I guess.
Yeah. So that's the gist of the episode. Let's work out positives and the negatives. Let's first off, we always start with the negative. May as well do the negative again.
Well, main negative, we've already hit on it already. Marge and her parental or lack of parental skills in this episode.
Taking a back seat.
Yeah, basically, apart from the hospital and a bit of stuff prior to the Truckosaurus bits, and at Truckosaurus, the last part of the storyline, she's hardly in it at all. Again, did Lisa speak to both her and Homer, and Homer chose to, or was put forward as being the parent to say something, or was Marge not even advised on it or something? Because she don't really try and dissuade Bart in any way at all.
No,
here.
she doesn't.
It's just like she comes across as a bad, well, not come across as a bad parent, but just an uncaring parent. She doesn't really care.
A bit like Homer usually.
Yeah, she doesn't really care that her own child wants to jump this gorge, which could technically kill him.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really care, sort of thing.
Any other negatives? Yeah, his friends, so-called friends who don't care about him. When he falls and you think it's a serious injury, they vanish. And when he's doing the gorge, attempting, they're not bothered. You want to see it.
Yeah, and also negative side, Otto and Murdoch's responses when they find out that Bart wants to jump the gorge. Really, I mean, obviously, so I say Otto's not exactly the most reliable adult, and Murdoch could be seen as like, oh yeah, I'm a Daredevil, so that's a good idea, but
Well, Otto's not a role model, is he?
But really, shouldn't one of them have tried to dissuade him from that?
You'd think so.
So yeah, negative from that one. Positives from it.
Homer, for a change.
Yeah,
Caring parent.
caring side of him.
He seems to want to do stuff with his kids in this episode,
Yeah.
which is unusual.
And just to go back to caring side, just the fact of normally Homer would do the whole speech with Bart and then just like whatever sort of thing. He actually follows through with it. He keeps telling him he don't want to do it. He keeps making him make him promise that he won't jump it. It stops him from jumping it. Even to the point of, okay, it was a bit stupid and even thinking that it was a good idea for him to jump the gorge instead. But again, that maybe can put down as a negative, the fact that he thought it was instead of taking the skateboard away or something, going, I'm going to jump it. So just take the skateboard away.
Yeah.
If he's not got a skateboard, he can't jump it.
No.
Unless he's going to be stupid enough to fucking jump across the gorge. And even if he does that, he deserves to die. But yeah, the fact that his parental skills in this are better than what they are in other episodes. Although he does come across as a good parent in other episodes, some of those feel more forced, either by Marge having a go at him or he's done something bad to the kids firstly.
Yeah.
This is the first episode where he's taken on the parental responsibilities and it's not been brought on by someone telling him or something he's done wrong. It's actually the fact of one of his kids has done something that he sees as being wrong or dangerous and actually stepped forward. And I think this is really any time you see that. I can't think of another episode where he's really been this sort of
I
father
can't.
figure. So yeah.
This is the episode where we seem to have an idea Bart and Homer have the same interests.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they vary over time, but yeah, you sort of get the gist that they're like, I mean, maybe not in later episodes that they think near enough the same. But yeah. But again, it's like, it's father and son, so they'll be into a lot of the same sort of Loki things, but yeah, just the overall strong connection that Homer tries to have with Bart. Like you say, normally he's trying to keep as far away from the kids as possible. And although Maggie's not in it, he's still... Well, Lisa always seems to look up to him unless he's done something to really upset her. But yeah, for a change to actually have the dynamic with at least two of his kids. Maybe you would have had the dynamic with all three if Maggie had actually had anything in this episode. So yeah, any other positives?
No, I think that's it for the positives, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think the positive just overlaps near enough the whole episode anyway, so there's not really much more to say on that.
If Homer didn't attempt the gorge, would Bart have done it, and Bart would have succeeded? Do you reckon?
Bart definitely would have done it because obviously he was just doing it because he wanted to be a Daredevil, but I think it was still that thing of like it's the what's the word I'm looking for, the fact of just the kids wanting him to do it, the kids were getting off on it as well, so he's feeding off their enthusiasm sort of thing.
But would he have succeeded?
Possibly. I mean, when you look at it, the weight difference had gone away, but again, scientifically wise, would that have given the extra jut, or was something else have come in and be like, well, he's not got this?
Well, Bart wouldn't have jumped on the skateboard in mid-air, would he?
Not really, no. So, possibility he might have made it, but again, there might have been some dynamics to it that may have stopped it. But again, with Homer's weight distribution, bigger weight distribution, you'd imagine that Bart would have made it because he'd have had less weight to drag him down, sort of thing. So less aerodynamic force on it, basically. So should have gone further.
Yeah.
So yeah, he most likely would have made it, basically.
I think we covered everything in the episode, haven't we?
Yeah.
If we've missed anything and you think of a negative and a positive, which we've also missed, please comment down below.
Like, share, subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next video.